you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I am absolutely delighted to be back here in New Hampshire. Yeah. When I was on the trail, my wife Candy and I celebrated our 40th anniversary here with 600 of our closest friends. But why am I here today? I'm here for the same reason that I originally ran, because I want to save our country. And America is worth saving. When you stop and you think about all that went into the creation of this country and the sacrifices that so many made so that we could have freedom, so that we could have a land that was of, for, and by the people, not of, for, and by the government. That's what it was intended to be. And we want to make it great again. And in order to do that, we must pay attention to every segment of our society. All of it must be taken care of. And that's one of the things that Donald Trump has been talking about. He's gotten a lot of criticism for talking about, portions of our country that aren't doing well, like our big inner cities. But the fact of the matter is, if they're not doing well, the whole country is going to have a problem, because we're all in the same boat. And if part of the boat sinks, eventually the rest of it's going down too. And that's one of the reasons that we're called the United States of America, not the divided states of America. And it is such a land of opportunity because, when I grew up in dire poverty with a terrible temper, terrible grades, it certainly didn't look that great for me. But you know what I had? I had a mother who believed in me. That's what made the difference. And she got me to understand that the person who has the most to do with what happens to you in life is you. It's not somebody else. It's not the environment. It's not even the government. And once you understand that, it makes all the difference in the world. And that's one of the things that I've had many conversations with Donald Trump about, the potential of our people and the importance of education once again. Our founding fathers talked about the importance of having a well-informed and educated populace. They said if we ever have anything other than that, the nature of the country will change, because people will be easily misled. And if you ever look at some of those man on the street things and they go out and they interview people about basic stuff, you'll know exactly what they were talking about. And it's why he is emphasizing education so strongly. Because if you give people a good education, they can write their own ticket. It doesn't matter what their ethnic or sociological background is. That's why we must concentrate on that. We must think about school choice. We must think about vouchers so that people can go to good schools, and that the failing schools either get better or disappear. Either one is okay, as long as we get our people educated. That's what's important. And traditionally, Republicans haven't talked about these things. They haven't talked about our prison system, where we have 5% of the population of the world, but 25% of the prison inmates. That means that there's a problem. And we have got to solve those problems. We've got to analyze those problems. We also have to recognize that when people are in prison, the reason there's such a high recidivism rate is because they go into prison with little education and little skills, and they come out with little education and little skills. So what are they going to do? The same thing that got them in there in the first place. So we have to start figuring out a way to change that narrative, because that will strengthen every single one of us. And we must find a way to bring jobs back to this country. We have policies in place that are destroying jobs. We have trade agreements that are destroying jobs. And this is not a complex equation. We have a reasonable tax code, and we get rid of all the stupid regulations that are keeping people from doing what God gave them the talent to do. And then lastly, we must bring back values and principles that made us into a great nation. We can't allow the secular progressive movement to destroy the very value system that made us stand apart from everybody else and allowed this country to go from nowhere to the pinnacle of the world in record time. And we can go back there again when we remember our values. And our values are good values. Donald Trump does not want to exclude people from our country, but he has the same philosophy as Teddy Roosevelt, who said, we are a nation of immigrants. Everybody is welcome to come here legally as long as they want to be Americans and they accept our values and they accept our Constitution. And we are very fortunate at this time to have someone running for president who's not a typical politician, who's willing to speak his mind, who is unafraid, and who loves America. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend and the next president, Mr. Donald Trump.